Take two. Started rambling, hated it, deleted it. So we're going to start again. I'm going to do the Booktube Newbie Tag, and here we go. Why did you start this channel? Started this channel because I like books. I'm not a massive, fast reader. Would like to be a better reader, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons that I've started following all these cool booktubers and really enjoyed it and spent way too much time watching them instead of reading them. So that's why I started it. Not real diligent about uploading, and hopefully I'll do more. What are some, since I've gotten older, I have no eyesight, so sorry for the crazy squinting. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? If I'm just being honest with you, there ain't nothing you're going to get here that you won't find that's better on other channels, so that's my honest answer on that one. What are the most exciting, what are you most excited about regarding this new channel? For me, I think what's been real interesting through all this is how my list of to be reads have grown. I like that. I like just seeing glimpses of people's lives, their libraries. I find myself not watching the ones that are with the lights and all the fancy stuff behind it and as much. There are some that I do follow, but they feel real corporate. They're probably not, but just my opinion. So anyways, I guess to answer that, what are you most excited about regarding this channel is I think, I don't know. Just trying to talk in front of people without getting lost and rambling and getting nervous. So maybe this will help with that. Why do you love reading? I like reading probably like anybody else. I like the experience of getting lost in a story, and I think for me, I've grown over the last couple years in really enjoying more nonfiction than I have in the past. And I think I always liked it. I just didn't realize how much I liked it. So the past couple years, I've definitely picked up more nonfiction. So I just like reading for the stories and stuff like that. So what book or series got you into reading? So I think I read fairly young. I remember Mom reading and I reading Johnny Appleseed. That one sticks to mind. I think one of the big things that really sticks with me is the book fairs you'd have at school where you go in and pick books, and all those fun books and the choose your own adventures in the 80s were just so much fun for me. And there's fantasy books and stuff like that. The other main thing I remember is in high school, right before I went off to school, getting a copy of Interview with a Vampire. My brother, who was in the Navy, had told me about it. So I read that. I remember walking to school, just killing time reading the book as I was walking, and really enjoyed that. So that really kicked off for me, never leaving without a book. I always carry one with me. Even today as I go to work, I keep it, and it may not make it into work, or it may look bad to carry a book inside of work, like you're going to take time to read that. But I still do it because those down times, I'm never bored when they come. So the next thing is, what question would you ask your favorite booktubers? I've asked Steve and Mark, some of those guys, some questions here and there. Jason Harrington and Todd the Librarian and a couple other ones. So, for me, their questions are I don't really have any, because their booktube channels are so well at talking about what they're reading, what they're doing. So I can't say that I have any. And I can tell I'm saying a lot, and I hate that, because I had a boss that was a screaming meanie that used to say a lot, and I hated that person for it. So here I am doing it. Sorry. What challenges do you think starting a book? What challenges do you think starting a book channel will be most difficult to overcome? For me, I'm just going to Donahue it and just run rough, and this is the video you get, and there's not going to be any edits or anything like that. So I think the technology piece is probably the most difficult, although I have some young kiddos in this house that probably could help me if I wasn't too embarrassed to go up and ask them for it, because I don't want them watching it, because they will make fun of me. There's 4 women in this house and 1 me, so that happens. Next one. Why did you start reading? When did you start reading? I don't know. I was pretty young, just like most kiddos, just reading books that my parents read to me, and get books for Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. I wasn't a massive reader until senior year in high school, and really even through college I wasn't a massive reader. I mean, I read constantly through then, but not as much as I do now. I don't know if okay, doesn't say anything about how many books. So I think my Goodreads, I try to do 30 books a year. I do some Audible books when I'm driving, or because I have a commute into Dallas. So I do some of that. I find it hard for me to stay on point on some of those. There was one called The Martian that I loved, that it was real easy to follow, and I really enjoyed that one. So there are a few of the Jim Butcher books. I listened to most of those, read some of them, but really listened to most of those while I was commuting. Some of the Michael Connelly books, I've done those, really enjoyed those. You can kind of just start driving and let them go. So, but I try to do about 30 a year. I don't always hit this year. I'm probably not one of those years, but where do you read? So for me, I'll read anywhere, any and anywhere. I don't just block people out and go to town. So last one. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? For me, I was really into science fiction, fantasy as a kid. Then switched over and kind of went to Clive Cussler route, read those for a long time. Sometimes I read, for me, the easiest way to answer is I'll read anything, just about. My favorites, I'm trying to read more science fiction, and really over the past 4 or 5 years have gotten way more into that, realizing how many cool stories I missed along the way. Also, fantasy novels, probably my biggest reads right now, as I've been on the Legend of Drizzt series, started with that and really enjoyed that. I've got all those books on his series, and I think at this point I'm just so committed to read them all that I will, no matter if I don't like them all or not. So I'm excited to read the Aubrey Maturin series. I've got 3 of those books. The first 3, 2 of them match and 1 of them doesn't, so I'm not going to read the 3rd one until I buy the matching one. That's stupid, I know, but it's what I'm going to do. But I'm real excited to read that. I did the George Simenon series after Steve's recommendation, so I've bought 3 of those, read 1 so far, and that was a lot of fun. Read some Stephen King, and I think I realized after watching some other people that maybe I don't enjoy them as much as I thought I did. I'd read them and they'd go forever. It took me like 8 years to finish Under the Dome. Good God Almighty, was that book long? I'd set it by my nightstand and read here and there, and I realized after I finished it, because I told myself I'd finish it, I said, I'm going to finish it, but after I read it, I thought, maybe I didn't enjoy that as much, and maybe it's just there's too much crap going on in those books to keep you interested throughout the whole thing. Okay. There may be quite a few of those interruptions here and there, so But that's it. So I guess that's my Booktube Newbie Tag. Can't remember how to do it. That's the other thing too. Loading up these videos and trying to tag it. You have to load it up and then tag it after you've loaded it. If there's another way to do that and I don't know about it, let me know. Hopefully I'll do more of these. I don't know. Kind of a little shy on some of these things. So try to get the confidence up and knock a few more of these out. And get to also where I'm talking about the books I'm reading. I'm currently reading Savage Tales of Solomon Kane by Robert E. Howard. And, a couple hundred pages into it. The stories are great. I think, like I said before, it feels like probably what Batman was based on. I may have heard this actually from somebody, but I can definitely see that. It's that dark, brooding, kind of wandering, knight errant type person. But the stories to me, they're short for one, but they're just real interesting and they're sticking with me. Unlike most short stories I've ever read, these seem to be, I'm thinking about them a little bit more than I normally would other books. So I don't know if that's my comprehension has increased over the past few years, thanks in part to Booktube. But anyway, so this is a good book. I just ordered the Conan Complete Chronicles off eBay in some cool black edition. So I'm going to read those coming up. And I think also next year I'm going to do, there's a guy out there, and my gosh, I forgot his name, but him and his wife are doing the not buying any new books, just reading what's in their library. And while I don't have a ton of books, I maybe have 3 shelves worth. I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to read the books that I have here, because the books that I've bought are books that I'm genuinely interested in. I just don't go through willy-nilly and grab every book. So I really want to read all these books I have, so I need to do it. And I've got a big Tubi red stack over there, so I think that's what I'm going to do in 2020 is read the books that I have and not buy any new ones. I will buy the R.A. Salvatore books because, again, I'm locked into buying them, and I'll just do it. But anyway, so I guess that's it. So here we go.